I'm excited to talk to you about energy, about, we could have a whole conversation on our internal energy, and that could be interesting at some point. But I really want to talk about the outside world and the chaos and how you're experiencing life, right? So if you're on live, put live in there or just say hello. I'm seeing people pop on. And my intention for you today, I love setting intentions. Another conversation we could have. And intentions are not positive, just positive thinking. An intention is a desired result that you want to have with an action that you're taking. My intention for today is to educate you about different ways that the world might be impacting you, educating why you might feel certain ways. And then I want to give you a tool and a few tips, all right? Because you have to take action. And then a tool for you to use to clear energy that isn't yours. And it's not saging. That's not the energy I'm talking about. Again, that's another conversation. There's so many things I want to teach you. But this is going to be about other people's energy, all right, and how they impact your life. It's different, right? I think it's different. And right now, there's just so much going on that I think it's a very worthy topic. Yeah. All right. How many people we have on here? Plenty to start, right? Plenty, plenty. So say hi, let me know who you are. I'm so grateful you're here. Whether you're watching live or on the recording, I value your time. I really do. Hey, Rob, thank you. Can you hear me well? I think everybody's telling me that the microphone is working well. All right. So let's get started, all right? And let's talk about the outside world for you. There's so much going on, right? So much going on in the world right now, all over the world. All over the world, there are pockets of rioting happening, right? Not just here in America. I live in Los Angeles. Oh, we have our stuff too. So do small towns. The thing is, it's happening everywhere. There's chaos everywhere in the world. America's politics are at their all-time worst, right? I mean, it'll probably get worse just because of the time that we're in, but it's still at an all-time high right now. We've got, the craziness of the politics, of our voting system, of our candidates, and of the people that are polarizing. Notice, the world is turning into a polarization. And we can't be a fence sitter anymore in any area of our life. It was a tongue twister. So I want to ask you, how many of you are aware if you are an empath? Are you aware if you're an empath? So, and if you are, just put empath inside there or say not aware, all right? And I'll tell you what an empath is. An empath is someone who senses, feels, and understands what someone else is feeling and going through without having a conversation with them. Okay? An empath is someone who will sense, feel, and understand, whether they know someone or not, what they're going through. It happens cognitively. You can be aware of it. But most often, it happens through the subconscious. And your physical energy of your body actually just absorbs other people's energies. And you become aware of stuff going on that you hadn't even thought about. Or, okay, you might, the energy might bring you down. And we'll talk about that. Okay, so tell me below, are you an empath? You don't have to be aware because I'm teaching you so that you might become more aware. But let me know if you're an empath. Let me see what we have here. Hey, Wendy, dear, you're not aware. Okay. Loud and clear. Love it. So for example, Wendy, dear one, you have your own stores, shops, right? You have people, customers coming in and out, right? It might be that when they walk in and they're in there for just before they even get to the counter, or once they've been at the counter, you are aware that life's not going well for them. Okay, an awareness is one thing, right? Right? It's what happens after that that I care about. Because when we consciously or subconsciously take in other people's energy, and most often this happens, it's a gift. By the way, being an empath is a gift. And you can be an empath and not be aware of it. That's why I love talking about it. Okay, here. It means you have a great ability to understand people. Empaths are very gifted and creative. Learning how to manage being an empath is one of their biggest life lessons. For me, I turned it into being a healer. Okay? But being an empath can make you very good at sales. It can make you very good in any aspect. It can make you a great parent. It can make you a great friend, a great child to a parent. Follow me? Being an empath is a gift. It can make you an amazing friend. You will be the best friend to everybody. That's another way to know if you're an empath. Everybody wants to talk to you about their problems. Everybody wants your opinion. All right? Okay. Susan, you'd say you're an empath. Perfectly. And Lola, you're not aware. I love educating. Okay. And it's okay if you're not an empath. So if you're not an empath, that means you are able to really quickly recognize what isn't yours. Okay? But around other people. It doesn't mean, though, that you won't take it in. So I'm going to teach you how to clear it, whether you are or you aren't. It's really powerful to let stuff like this go. Now, emotions, if you sense and feel what other people are feeling, that's okay. But what happens is, within a few minutes, doesn't even take a few minutes, okay? So one of my favorite examples is for you, okay? And I teach this to my students often is, if I'm in the grocery store and I'm in the apples over in the fruits and vegetables, and I walk by and I intuitively pick up that someone's having a bad day, okay? Oh, okay. And what happens oftentimes is, a better example would be we cross next to each other in the grocery store line or in the aisle by the apples, right? It's just a hypothetical thing. And I recognize, oh, they're not having a great day. Now you see our aura goes to the end of our fingertips predominantly. I mean, most often that's where it goes. So if you extend your hand out, your arms out, that's a nice reach, right? So you can be walking right next to somebody or pass by someone and energetically you pick up their vibrational energy. It's really that simple. You don't even have to have picked up they're having a bad day. You can be busy picking out, canned tuna and somebody walks behind you and you're not even aware of them. But by the time you get to the end of the aisle, by the time you get to the potatoes, all of a sudden your happy, cheerful attitude is like, man, I just can't wait to get out of this store. I'm tired. I want to get home. All of a sudden I don't feel like shopping. Okay. That's how other people's negative energy will impact us. And that's what we are talking about is the negative energy. They didn't do anything wrong, by the way. They're just having a bad day. But energetically, the vibrations crossed. Now, this is the thing. The subconscious forgets that it isn't yours, and it takes it on as yours. So if you are aware that someone's having a bad day, it only takes, 15 seconds, if not less, for the subconscious to forget that it's somebody else's, and it's now yours. Yeah, it's pretty incredible, right? And I'm hoping this sheds some awareness about, does it mean don't go out and about? No, because I'm going to give you a tool, okay? And for some of you, that's why COVID has been a breath of fresh air. You don't have to go into the office. You can work from home, which you've always wanted to do, right? Yeah. And you don't have to deal with office politics and things like that. It's because you're an empath. All right. Let's see. You encountered someone, yeah, and quickly I got upset along with her. You know what, Lola? That's a perfect example, okay, of how that will happen. It triggers us. And again, this is, I want you to become very mindful of, of who you are and how you feel. Because if we don't become mindful, we cannot address the situation. Now, one of the common emotions that really trip us up, everyone, is fear. Yes, we can inherit fear, okay? But we're not talking about that. That's our own thing we got to work out. That's a whole separate thing, right? But we can pick up the frequency of fear from other people. Now, when we live in fear, we cannot change. It's pretty much impossible to step into life purpose. If you're in life purpose and you know it and you're triggered in fear, it will cause you, it'll still trip you up. But really, what I care about is those of you who are looking to make a change in your life and you really want to live purposefully. You want to have more love in your life. You want a relationship, or you want a career that really feeds your soul. Okay? If you are in fear, it won't happen. I'll tell you why. Pay attention to how you feel. If when we live in fear, we make up excuses why we can't to do something. And there's always truth in our excuse, always. So pay attention to your stories. I guarantee you they're 90% wrong. Because the truth is, we can redefine our life. We have to show up differently in our life in order to change and get into life purpose. Fear, number one block to life purpose. Because you won't take action. You'll second guess. You will doubt yourself and you'll talk yourself out of it. And then you'll get to a point in your life where there's a lot of regret. And I don't want that. And see, regret is another story. Because regret doesn't mean you can't do it. Regret just is past time that you feel you've lost. You can always step into life purpose. I don't care if you're 60, 70, or 80. You can always, or older, step into life purpose. Okay. I want to give you a tip. Now you're going to need to breathe through this one, okay? First of all, let me see if anybody's commented. Okay, Wendy, you're having some eye openers. That's perfect. The first tip and about fear is you have to stop watching the news. Okay? I'm going to say it again. You must stop watching the news. You must stop watching the news or minimizing it so much that you forget you didn't watch it. The news is full of scare tactics. The news is full of fear. Somebody that is like over the chart, an empath, like off the top of being an empath, you can watch a weather report where homes are being destroyed and you won't be able to sleep. I promise you, you will not miss out on anything going on in the world because everybody wants to share it. Everybody wants to talk about it, right? Tell me below and just put the word addiction. I know, but it's a strong word, but I'm curious, okay? Do you watch a lot of news? Are you addicted to news? Is it always on in your background of your house? Now, I know if you're single, this is a tough one, okay? Because the TV offers as a companion. It also offers as a huge time waster. Huge. You're going to hear the same news report over and over. Are you addicted to news? I have a pretty aware tribe. I know that you're going to know if you are or you're not, okay? Hi, Elizabeth. Even reading articles often are upsetting. I agree. And Lola, you don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. And I'll tell you what, about, a couple months ago when the looting started and the vandalism, I turned my news on. I live right in the heart of LA, guys. And And I wanted to know if I needed to leave my house, right? Now it didn't go into the neighborhoods, but I turned it on, and I'll tell you what, it is as if I had been watching news forever. I was glued to the TV. It upset me so badly. My heart was broken for the people that truly lost their businesses. Look, I'm still emotional about it. People's lives were ruined, and I'm still troubled by it. I have clients who lost their businesses in that rioting. Now, would I still be heartbroken? I would, but I'll tell you what, it would have been a lot easier for me to not to watch it happen. Many years ago, I recognized that the outside world impacted me, and I stopped watching the news. Some people might say you can't live your life in a bubble. I don't live my life in a bubble, but I'll tell you what, I am very mindful, and I pick and choose who I let in my life and what I let in my life. And I choose not to actively watch the news, because then I'm choosing negativity. I'm choosing fear. Let me tell you what news does on a subconscious level, okay? I want you to imagine, because it kind of happens like this when we watch it. I call them fiery darts. And these are darts that are thrown from the inside of the TV right at your energy field. Out come these darts of propaganda. Out come the darts of lies and falsehood and the fear and the feeling of being controlled. And they land in your energy system, whether you're aware of it or not. They are there. Minimize your news, okay? You will thank me in the next couple months if you really activate this practice. Now, again, becoming mindful is very important. So you can create the story while you have to listen to it. Or you can recognize how it impacts you and trust that you'll get the information you do. I always am, I can talk about almost anything. Okay? And I have no problem telling people I don't know about it. None. Okay. All right, I'm off my soapbox on that one, but it's a biggie, okay? It's a biggie. Rob, you stopped watching the news quite some time ago. Right? I was a time where I would jump from different stations to figure out who was reporting what, so I totally get it. Yep. And Wendy, you stopped. See, Wendy, you don't know you're an empath. You're so an empath, or you would have never known to stop, okay? All right, dear one. Now, because the world is just full of crappy energy right now, I don't want you to own it at all, okay? So what about, have you ever entered into a room? You go to a live event. It can be a room of your family, for all that matters. But let's go back in time. Maybe your school room. Maybe your classroom, right? Your college room. Living in the dorm. It could be going to a live event. So for me, when I speak at a live event, I have to do some things, okay? But this is what I want you to do. I want you to go back to a time, maybe you were invited to a party, so I've given you lots of examples, all right? Where you walk into a room of people and you're good for a while, or you're not good for a while. But at some point, you get triggered, okay? And it might, you just feel icky and you don't feel good. It might cause you to feel anxious, super eager to get out of there, annoyed with people. I don't normally get annoyed with people in a group. I normally, for me, I start to feel edgy and anxious. I am up going to the bathroom all the time in a large group. Like I gotta get up, I gotta walk. For me to sit there in one spot is torture. Okay, just torture. So I frequently walk the halls and then I come back. I just need a little bit of a break. And hold on with me, because I'm going to give you a tool on how to clear other people's energy. So what I want to know is, if you're aware of this type of feeling, so for me, see, I get anxious. What emotion do you feel when you're in a group of people? I might feel other things right now. I might Annoyed is, I very rarely get annoyed, but maybe if I'm listening to somebody speak, usually if I get annoyed, I know that it's not me. Okay. But maybe it is for you. Maybe that is your trigger. Maybe you just have a great desire to run and leave. Is there an emotion that you're aware of that you feel when you're in large groups? Or do you just like bring on the large groups and rock large groups? Let me know which it is. What do you think? Are you aware of feeling other people's energy when you're in a large group? You might not be aware of feeling their energy. That's why I'm asking you to be mindful of how your body feels when you're in a large group. We have to become mindful. If you can't sleep at night, well, you backtrack in time and you realize you watched the news or you watched a scary movie, right? Or you talked to a friend who wanted to tell you all the really scary things going on in the world. You have to become mindful, everyone, of how you feel. We can no longer bury our head in the sand and think all of this is going to get better. Because it's not going to get better right now. But we can use this time to recognize who we are, to figure that out. It's a great learning opportunity right now. It's a great opportunity to clear the emotional clutter and debris in our life because we are all being up-leveled, right? I see things coming on. Let me put my glasses. You have to leave. Your heart beats fast in large groups. Yep, Lola dear, you are an empath. You don't care to be in large groups. You know, I don't choose them either. Okay? I get it, Susan. You don't necessarily notice an emotion, Lisbeth? Okay, but you get nauseous and heavy energies. Yeah, because what's happening is the emotions of everybody in the room, whatever they're going through, you energetically pick up. It's a gift you have. What makes me sad is when I hear people that are empaths say they don't leave their house, when it becomes so overwhelming because they haven't been taught any way to take care of it, then they become isolated. They become hermits. They turn down invitations to do social things, right? And they don't want to leave. They want to play it safe. And they think that it's a burden. It is a burden if you don't know how to use it, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. Empaths are extremely creative. Empaths are feelers. They're great artists. They're great musicians. Empaths, they're truly gifted. And that's what I want you to hear too, is you're gifted. All right? Okay. Next, let's talk about the people in your life. So we have the outside world and how it impacts you. We have the community around you in large groups, right? But what about those people that you interact with? Could be your best friend, could be your spouse, your partner, right? It could be family. Oh, yeah, that's a biggie, right? So, hi, Patty. You notice a coldness in a group. Then you decide to get more engaged because you move through it. Patty, you are very engaging, dear one. You have really learned to move through uncomfortability. I honor you on that. You really have. And I agree, sometimes it can be overwhelming. I think you've been with me in a large group. You know I get up all the time, if you paid attention. And hi, Zara, and you absorb your neighbor's energy and anger. Oh, sweetie, let me help you not do that, okay? So let's go back. See, I love talking. I love talking to you. Let's talk about the people in your life now. We're going to change gears because I want to help you recognize and give you a couple tools here on this one, okay? Our first inclination in our life, we have something exciting to share, is to call those people close to us. I've worked with many means 3 right now in my life. I've worked with 3 big time MLM groups like Epigenetics, Young Living, right? Those types. And then those who are thinking about starting a business, doing multi-level, which I don't even like that name, but I know that you know what it means. I call it direct sales. And the first thing I tell them, the first tip I give them, do not ask your family if it's a good idea. Do not ask your best friend what they think of your new entrepreneurship. Don't ask them. Because this is what happens. When they respond to you with like, why would you want to do that? You have a good life already. Why do you need to do that? Or, nobody buys from people. It's just a scam. All these people that lose all their money doing that, don't do that. You follow me? The people close to us, one, they don't want us to fail. Two, they also don't want us to change. Now, I don't mean that they're consciously aware, like, oh, I don't want Patty to change. I don't want Wendy to change. No, it's not like that. What happens is it triggers their own insecurities. And on a subconscious level, if you move onward, then where are they? And so in their very best attempt to keep you safe, they're actually limiting you. Pay attention to the responses you get to the people closest to you in your life. Let me ask you, have you ever shared a brilliant idea with a friend or a family member or a spouse, partner, and the response was less than positive? Let me know below. Okay? Because that's our tendency, is we want to tell people, right? We want to share that we have this great idea and all the things we're going to do. Yeah. I'm also not saying don't associate with those people. But I am saying that you want to treat your ideas and your hopes and dreams like a special jewel. And you want to hold it within, because oftentimes when we overshare our idea for approval, we spend the energy in doing that, let alone run the risk of not having it well received. Hold it in, take action, then you can let people know, right? But you want to use the energy of your idea. You want to use those thoughts and those dreams of yours to have it come to fruition. And when you overspeak it, you're using the energy up. And oftentimes you don't take action. Okay? I see comments coming in. Yeah. Oh, I said, my favorite, I'm so sorry this happened to you. I told a psychic friend I was doing well. She said it won't last. What does that do, right? It impacts us immediately. It stops our hopes. It causes us to think about, well, what don't I know? And if it's going to be impacted, then why should I even try? Oh, sweetheart, I'm sorry that happened to you. And you have an energy sucker as a friend. Yes, they shoot it down. You're so right. It's true, Patty. They shoot it down. They suck our energy. And you know an energy sucker like this, okay? They don't want to hear about you. They just want you to support them. They want to tell you, they want you to tell them that they can do it. They want you to be their cheerleader, and they want you to come up with the ideas. And they might even want you to take action in their life for them. Yeah. Again, I'm not saying don't have them in your life. But you do have a responsibility to be mindful and to take action of yourself. Minimize the time and stop sharing everything that's going on in your life. Okay? Just because they call you 4 times a day, I'm exaggerating, it does not mean you need to take the call. You do have a life. You do. Okay? All right. Yeah. Okay. So you might be saying, well, Lisa, how do I know? How do I know if the subconscious forgets, right? How do I know if I picked up other people's energy? Okay. First, again, you have to be mindful about how you feel. It could also be about your thoughts. First, how you feel. If you got up in the day and you got up cheery and happy, and you're giving gratitude for the little things in life. By 2 o'clock, yeah, it's not so good. You've got doom and gloom going on. You must be responsible for yourself here. You are not a victim, and you need to take action. Because more than likely, you've been impacted by society. You've been impacted by world news, whether you heard it from somebody or you watched it. You must take action for you and take responsibility. All right? So that just means I'm just drilling it in, aren't I? You have to be present with how you feel. You cannot say, I had a super busy day. You can be mindful and be busy. You cannot say, everybody was asking me questions all day. Go to the bathroom and take a break, okay? You must take responsibility for how you feel. Then you'll be able to do this clearing and it will work. Okay. If at any time in the day you have doom and gloom, I guarantee you something's going on. Also, if you are a positive thinker and all of a sudden you've just got being berated with negative thoughts, you've been impacted, okay? And you've been triggered on a subconscious level. So you have to become mindful and cognitively aware of how you feel. I'll quit saying that now. All right. So everybody have a pen or a pencil or something like that, because now I want to start giving you the tools, okay? Unless you have a question you want to ask me about anything that I've shared. You can just put it in the chat box, okay, if you have a question. So here we go. I'll teach it and then you might, okay? You first become mindful. Second, here's the question you ask yourself. And now I want you to speak it out loud. Speaking out loud activates the theta. It activates the subconscious. Speak this question out loud. Is this mine or someone else's? Now, if you're mindful enough to identify that you feel doom and gloom, if you feel depressed, if you feel anxious, and see those are names of emotions, right? Then you can add, is this anxiety mine or someone else's? And it gets tricky, because if you're an anxious person anyway, then you're going to pick up anxiety from others really easy. That's why the question is this anxiety mine or someone else's? Is the depression mine or someone else's? Now, depression is a heavy word, okay? And if you suffer from depression, you might want to use a different word. Is this low vibrational energy mine or someone else's? If you cannot identify, you don't have to. I'm just giving you a tip if you can. But if you don't feel good, now let's just summarize, you don't feel good. Is this feeling mine or someone else's? Anyone have a question about that? Are we good to go? Okay. Next, you must pause. I'd love to give a TED Talk on pause. Okay? You must pause. If we paused more in our life, it would change our life. You ask the question, you pause. You will know doggone quickly. And I bet if you're clairaudient, you're going to hear not yours. You might have a thought in your mind, not yours. Okay? You might just come to an assumption automatically, a knowingness, not mine, right? You would hear not mine or not yours, okay? Something like that. Make sense? If you can identify the emotion, speak it. If you can't, no problem. Is this mine or someone else's? What's next? Pause. Type pause down there if you understand what I mean by pause. Not many people teach about the importance of pause. If you're somebody that's scattered, always scattered, and you know what I mean by that. You always feel like something's missing, you forgot it. If you've got 10 things going on in your brain at one time, you're scattered. Not a criticism, it's a mindful awareness. You need to pause more, okay? I would like, you can muscle test. So that's a good question. If it's yours or someone else's, sure you can. But I have a very strong feeling, dear, that you're very intuitive. Okay. Now, in my work, I always muscle test. I always honor the client's body and I use kinesiology. In my own, okay, I love to really practice using my intuition. See, the thing is here, and this is why it's a great one to practice with, is it doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. Absolutely does not matter. 9 times out of 10, everybody, it will be someone else's that triggered you. Okay? Yeah. You can muscle test if you're comfortable with that, sure. But I'd like to encourage you to develop your intuition, okay? Pause. I love seeing pause. Yes. And pause for many people, and I understand. I'm proactive, guys. Me pausing is I literally have to be mindful and say, Lisa, it's time to pause. Okay? I understand. Some people it comes very natural too. It doesn't to me. I have to make that an action item for me. All right. Now that you've identified that it's someone else's, are you ready for how to get rid of it? You see, the mind is a powerful thing, and it will believe what you believe. Just like it believes the negative is truth, it will believe what you create as your truth. I promise. Okay? Let me see if there's anybody in here. You only pause too much, Sarah, if you notice I pronounce your name different every time. I'm so sorry, dear one. You only pause too much, okay, if you're doubting yourself. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about pausing to become aware. If you are pausing too much, you're trapped in your head, sweetie, and I wouldn't call it pausing. Okay? I understand where you are. I do. Practice this, okay? Practice it. All right, here we go. You will now sense, feel, and imagine that you're going to walk through like a 6-foot screen. Maybe you could imagine a window screen, okay? But you're not walking through the window. You're going to imagine this screen, okay, is taller than you, wider than you, okay? But this screen that you're going to walk through is very magical. This screen is gold. Gold is an intention that I always use because it's a high, pure metal, precious metal, and you're precious. Okay? It's a screen that's very intricate. It's an electric screen for your energy field. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to speak this out loud as you walk through it and back through it, right? You're just in your living room or wherever you are, okay? I've gotten to where I can do it on the fly just about anywhere, okay? I have more in-depth tools. This is the fastest tool that I have to give you, all right? So you're going to say when you walk through the screen, now remember, as you walk through this intricate gold screen, just it might look like a big window screen, okay, in your room, you're going to sense, feel, and imagine that as you do so, it is zapping away all of the frequencies in your energy field that are not yours. So here's how you do it. You're going to stand. You're going to push your arms out all the way because you're pushing your energy. You could go like this and push it out because you want to get it all. Okay? And then you're going to walk through this as you say, I'm releasing all that does not serve my highest good. I'm releasing all that is not mine. Okay? And just keep walking back and forth. What will happen is, you're going to love this. You will instantly begin to feel lighter. The body releases it when you do this. It declutters it. It zaps it away. Okay? And you're going to feel lighter. You're going to be able to really move forward. It'll help you pick up your day. Okay? All right, you want me to say it again or everybody have it? Let me know below if you understand, right? Understand. Okay? Because you recognize there's some steps to this, right? You will get fast at it. You're going to push your energy field out because you want that screen, right, to clear all the energy, all in between, from your heart, the back, and around, right? And the screen will go up above. It'll clear off the head, okay? And you're stepping over. I take a step into it and walk. Yeah. Okay. Let me know if anybody has a question or if you understand. You love it. Perfect. I love you. Please go over. Okay, so here we go. We'll write it down. 1, you become mindful that you don't feel good, whatever that means, okay, for you. Okay. Next, you ask yourself, is this mine, this feeling mine, or is it someone else's? Don't get tripped up that you need to figure out who it is. It absolutely does not matter. Does not matter. Don't go there. I'm really glad I thought about that. Okay. Because what you do when you start trying to figure it out, you start to go into blame mode. Blame is not part of a life mission. You cannot live a purposeful life if you're cognitively aware of who you're going to blame for how you feel. This is not blaming anybody for how you feel. This is you taking responsibility for how you feel and owning what isn't truly you, right? Next, if you identify the emotion, you can say, is this anxiety mine or someone else's? Important here comes the pause. Just pause. What comes to your mind? The very first thing is always, pretty much always right. I say pretty much because we got to give a little bit of wiggle room there, right? If it's yours, I still want you to do it because I think if it comes up as yours, okay, within that, it just, to me, that means that it's been within you. It started somebody else's. It's been within you a while, and your subconscious really believes it's yours. All right. So either way, now you go to the next part. Okay. You sense, feel, and imagine this beautiful screen. It's gold. The little gold things are the little wire are all gold, and they're magical. In fact, you can kind of see it, like in my mind's eye, I see that electric, like current, energy current running in them. Maybe like a Harry Potter movie, something like, there's cool visuals. And I say, okay, as I walk through, I am releasing what is not mine, right? I am letting go of everyone's energy, anxiety, low vibrational energy that does not serve my highest good. Oh, wait, I forgot to tell you, you have to push your energy out. Sorry. Okay. Right. All right. So you've pushed it out. You want it out there because if it's in here like this, it'll still get it, but not as well. Okay. You just want to be out there, vulnerable to the screen and clearing the vibrational energy off that isn't yours. Okay. Go back and forth. You can turn around if you don't want to walk backwards. Just go back and forth. Okay, this isn't a big deal. It doesn't have to be, I walk down the aisle and then I do a little thing. You don't have to do that. It's that simple. It's kind of like going and bathing in the Jordan River or wherever that was, right? Go and bathe in the river for the leopards. It's kind of like that. It's really that simple. And you are also going to notice that you become more cognitively aware of how you feel and what doesn't serve you. It doesn't feel good to feel icky, does it? Nobody wants to do anything when they feel icky. I don't. Nope, I don't want to do that, right? Now, the next thing you can do is just go for a walk. I didn't say go hike. You can do that. Don't make a big production of it. But sometimes we just need to walk to anchor the spirit and to clear off, just let everything else go. Those are my tips, everybody. I want you to feel good in your body. I want you to feel good in large events, at large events. You can even feel this way on Zoom, by the way. Okay, especially if your screen is open to everybody. where your visual, where you are looking at everyone, my suggestion is you put it in speaker view on there and just look at the speaker, because it can get really overwhelming when you're looking at everybody else. And it's hard to pay attention when the speaker's, this big off in the left corner or something. I want you to feel safe in the world. You see, you will never be given more than you can handle. Not ever. It's a universal promise to us, and it won't break its promise. So if you're living in fear, look at what's going on in your life, okay? And you're welcome to ask me questions. You're welcome to put it in the group as we go through. But you understand and you typed it up. Wonderful, Patty. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm so glad you're here. Repeat, Lola, I repeated. I hope you got it. And this will be, when we end it, it'll go up, I'll post it. And wait a minute, I think I forgot somebody. I just envisioned it in my mind. You know what? When we envision in our mind, it anchors a belief, right? That's why I want you to speak it out loud. That's why I want you to envision it. And that's why I want you to physically do it. Then it becomes an anchor. And the subconscious, it wants to help you, everybody. The subconscious really is the protector. It's just that it needs to know how to protect and help you in positive ways. And this is one of them. I send you off in love. I'm so grateful you're with me. And I'm very excited to know how things turn out. I want you to tell me and share how it's been going, okay? And how you feel by doing it, all right? Okay. Until next week. Love you, love you.